One question that I keep hearing, not just on YouTube, but in real life as well, is when are things going to go back to normal? When are home prices going to go back to normal? When are egg prices going to go back to normal? When are grocery prices going to go back to what they were? When are airline prices going to go back to where they were in 2019? And I have a little bit of harsh news for you here is they're not going back to where they were. We are in a new normal in our economy right now. And the reason why is because of inflation. Now, I know I've talked about inflation a million times, but you have to understand me here. The Federal Reserve Bank is the central bank in the United States, and their job is to monitor and manage inflation. Technically, they have two jobs. Their job is number one, price stability, and number two is maximum employment. This is the Federal Reserve Bank's mandates by the government. Now, price stability, what that means is managing inflation. Because high inflation means the prices of things are rising very quickly. Negative inflation means the prices of things are falling. The Federal Reserve Bank has a set target of 2% inflation, which means the prices of things still rising, but by around 2% a year. That is the Federal Reserve Bank's target. Today, we're at significantly higher than that, which means the Federal Reserve Bank is not looking for negative inflation. They're not looking for deflation. They're looking for disinflation. There's a big difference between disinflation and deflation. Disinflation is inflation cooling down. Inflation cooling down means the prices of things are rising, just not as fast as they were before. This is what the Federal Reserve Bank is fighting for. They're fighting for the prices of things to grow slower than they have been growing. They're not fighting for the prices of things dropping. And this is where now understanding that will help you hopefully understand where our economy is going. That way you can make better decisions with your money and your time today, because things are not going to go back to where they were. Period. I mean, if we were to see a lot of economic pain, you could see a temporary period of certain prices of things falling. I mean, that's what happens when you see recessions. But generally, the prices of things are not going to fall. That is not the Federal Reserve Bank's goal. That's not the government's goal. They want to see the prices of things grow, just not as fast. Which means today, the prices of things are still growing quickly. And in many instances, they're still growing faster than people's wages. So if your income is not keeping up with the prices of things, the prices of things are going to continue to rise. Maybe they're not going to grow as fast as they were, but they're going to continue to rise, which means we're going to see a bigger gap between incomes and the prices of things, the cost of living. This is something that we have been seeing happen since the 1970s especially, but now over the last few years, it has really accelerated this bigger divide between people's incomes and the cost of living. Now, what does that do? Well, this is the byproduct of inflation. Inflation disproportionately hurts the poor and the middle class, and it disproportionately benefits the wealthy. The first thing you have to understand is that this is the new reality in our economy, period. And if you don't believe me, go to the Federal Reserve Bank's website, go study what they're saying, go study their inflation targets, and then come back to me. Because they have made it very clear that their inflation target is 2%, that they're not looking for deflation. They just want disinflation. Secondly, once you understand that, now it's time to get real with, okay, what does this mean for you? Now, going back to things that I've talked about multiple times, this means now that you are going to either have to A, live a smaller lifestyle, that way you can continue to have more money to invest and save, or B, you are going to have to work to earn more money. Now, how do you live smaller? Well, that means you're going to have to make more sacrifices, right? There's really no other way to have more money to invest besides spending less and earning more money, period. But how do you earn more money now? Because there are a lot of options. In fact, today there are more options than ever about how you can work to earn more money. Now, the most obvious would be try to see if you can get it from a job. You can try to get a raise, you can try to get a promotion, try to get a bonus. Now, there are a lot more difficulties with that option today because our economy is slowing and businesses are much more hesitant to give raises and bonuses because of the slowing economy. But that is one option. The second option is you can work to get a second job. Maybe you work to get a part-time job. And yeah, that sucks, because that means more time is going to be going to working to earn more money. But this, again, is the economy that we're in right now. If it's not working to get a second job, then the next option is, can you work to get a certificate? Can you work to change careers? Can you work to do something else? Maybe work at a different company. That way you can earn more money. If you're not happy with the job that you're at or the career that you're at, it's not too late. This is one of the toughest conversations that I have with people, especially in their 30s. Because when people enter their 30s, you feel like you just started to build this career. You've started to really solidify your job in this industry. You've solidified your name in this industry. But if you're not happy with it, it's okay to make a change. You're still young. You have a lot of time ahead of you. There's no point to spend the rest of your life or the rest of your working career doing something that you hate when you could spend a couple of years getting back started and actually do something that gives you more fulfillment. And 5 years from now, you're going to look back and be very happy at the change that you made. It's never easy to make a change, but looking back, you are going to be thanking yourself. The one decision the thing that always helps me in those types of situations is I think of myself when I'm 65, when I'm 75, when I'm 85, and I'm looking back at my life. Will I regret the decision that I made? Or will I be proud that I took a risk, maybe failed, or maybe succeeded? And this is where I want you to think forward. Now, what is the future you going to look back and say, it's okay to make a change. It's okay to take a risk. It's okay to start over. You have a lot of time ahead of you. So now, how do you earn more money? Well, if it's a career change, that's another option. The next option is doing something a little bit more entrepreneurial. And this is why I say it is more accessible than ever for people to be able to earn more money, because earning money, thanks to the internet, has become so much more accessible. Now, you can hate this. I know there's a lot of hate on this whole idea of making money online and doing this stuff, but it's reality. There are so many ways to earn money online. You can become a content creator. I started the Minority Mindset YouTube channel with less than $500. I don't even think I spent $200 because I was recording videos in front of a white wall with my iPhone. No fancy editing equipment. I didn't have any editing equipment. No audio equipment. I think I spent $25 on one light and $25 on a tripod to hold my phone up, and that was it. I just started recording videos and publishing them on YouTube. It doesn't cost anything to publish on YouTube. It doesn't cost really anything to start publishing on podcast, minus maybe some hosting fees that you might have to pay. There's a lot of ways that you can make money through content. There are ways that you can make money online being a freelancer. You can work for other companies. You can be a contractor for other companies. You can do their graphic design. You can do their video editing. You can do their accounting. You can do their bookkeeping. You can do their writing. There's a lot of different things that you can do for companies. If you have a skill, you can monetize that skill, do it on the side as a freelancer. You can go out and try to start your own side business. You can start a landscaping business, an auto detailing business, a painting business, a whatever service type of business. There's a lot of different skills that you can monetize now, not on the internet, but outside the internet, that you can also provide to people. So there are ways for you to earn more money. Or if you have a business idea, you can work to now build that business idea as well. Earning money has become so much more accessible because the whole idea of earning money is you have a product and you present it to people. And back in the day, back before 2010, 2005, before the internet really popped off, if you wanted to get in front of people, you needed an office. You needed a retail store, which was expensive. And the whole game was you get a good retail store, you get a good location, you get a good corner where there's a lot of foot traffic or a lot of car traffic. And because people would then see your office sign or your business sign, you would get more business. Now, it's all on the internet. How do you get eyeballs to see you? There are billions of eyeballs on the internet today. How do you get some of these eyeballs to see you? Now, there's a lot of ways to make money now. You can get paid just from people seeing your content, advertising, affiliate dollars. You can get money by selling your own business, your own products. You can get money by promoting somebody else's business as a sponsor or as an affiliate. There are unlimited ways to make money, but you have to just understand now that that option is there and then go out and seize it. Because the reality is the prices of things today are not going to go back to where they were 4 years ago. And so if you are struggling with your financial situation today, or if you don't like the idea of cutting back, or if you feel like you cannot live the lifestyle that you want based off of the income that you have, you got to get real with the situation. Blaming the situation is not going to do any good, but getting real with the situation will allow you to find a solution, because the reality is This inflation thing is not going away. Inflation is still going to be around. It's going to take time for the inflation to come back down to 2%. How long? I don't know. But it's going to take time, which means inflation is going to be growing. The prices of things are going to be growing faster than 2% until we get there. So this is where you want to be proactive, especially in a time where the economy is slowing, where incomes are not growing fast enough. Because when you have a slowing economy, that means incomes are falling because people lose their jobs, people get their bonuses cut, people get their pay raises cut. And this is where now you have to be honest with yourself. That way you can take care of yourself, your family, and your community. And this is where you have to, number one, stay on top of what's happening in the financial world. That way you can take care of yourself. But then number two, you also got to make sure that you have the ability to then capitalize on opportunities. Now, this is why I created Market Briefs, to stay up to date on what's happening. Market Briefs is my free financial newsletter. It's an easy way for you to stay up to date on what's happening in the top finance and business news. It's an easy to read email. You can read it in less than 5 minutes every morning, and it's a simple breakdown of what's happening in the financial markets. If you have not joined Market Briefs yet, you can go to briefs.co/market. That's briefs.co/market, or you can click the link down in the description below. And the second part is, well, doing something. Having the money to be able to capitalize on opportunities, because the reality is anytime we go through economic craziness, it also creates opportunities. But the only people that can seize these opportunities are people that are prepared and financially educated. Prepared means you have money put aside to capitalize on the opportunity, and financially educated means you can actually see the opportunity when it happens. And that's where you have to be the one that is ready to do so. When the 2008 crash happened, I was very naive. That was when I was first getting involved into financial education, but that was when I first started investing in real estate. I didn't have a ton of money. I had some money put aside, but I knew people with way more money than I did, way more money than I did, who weren't buying real estate for pennies on the dollar because they didn't see the same opportunity as me. Now, I didn't really know what I was doing. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I knew that real estate prices were going to grow and it's going to be a great investment. To me, I just saw the numbers and I said, okay, if I can buy a property for cheap and rent it out, I can make a decent return. But everybody, or people that were more aware, educated, we'll call it educated, they were scared because they kept hearing on the news about how bad real estate was and how much people lost from real estate. And this is where now that financial education is really being able to see the opportunity against the grain, against the media, against the emotion. But you also have to be prepared with the money to be able to capitalize on the opportunity. They go hand in hand. If you want to be a successful investor, there are 10 mindset traits that every successful investor has that I'm going to go over in this video. And number one, if you want to be a successful investor, being avoiding the shiny object syndrome. Now, when I say shiny object syndrome, I don't mean now you take your money and you go out and buy fancy cars and nice things, because that's the attractive thing to